Stop! Out loud. This mime brought to you by Sound Theatrical and Technical Institute, Bronx, New York. Hi. Now let's talk about what was that? Let's talk about mime. There you have a talking mime. Isn't that the silliest thing in the world? Okay, so what you have is a talking mime. Now, you want to see a really funny talking mime? Now released kind of globally is this wonderful piece that I did way back, God knows when Jim Henson was actually still alive, called The Squatty Potty Commercial. And working with John Cleese, who was doing my voice, and Frank Oz and Jim Henson, who were creating the unicorn and the machine. We did this for charity, and they've just taken it and run with it, and they're going crazy with it, and good luck to them. They are doing a fantastic job. But what I'm showing you here is the beginning of understanding. Most people, they think of a mime, they think of walking against the wind and entertaining in the park, and guys, that's just the draw. That's, hey, come, look, be a mime. Do things without words. Do things without sound. Isn't this wonderful? Isn't this exciting? Wouldn't you like to be a mime too? That's so basic, it's not even funny. Okay, now when you really get into mime, you have to understand everything is a mime. Every movement of your body tells a story. Every movement of your eyes tells a story. Every shift, every sigh, every question is a story. So how do you create a mime platform? Creating a mime platform takes understanding of your world. When you look in the scene, you're seeing Barb coming back to life. Created the greatest joke on earth on this. Before I jumped down and after the director would cut, we finally went through the whole scene. We got everything finished. And I said, and the light of day shines briefly upon the vampire, and she is spirited away, and now she really is herself once again, and the vampire is dead. And Barb was laughing so hard she couldn't even... And I said a lot more poetic than that, a lot more lovely than that. And everyone was laughing, and everyone was sighing, and everyone was going, that was beautiful, that was the most incredible piece of poetry I've ever heard in my life. And then, you know, they were looking at the two of us just bursting out in torrents of laughter. And my friend who was playing Biggles went, can you clue us in on the joke? And I said, yeah, sure. Hi, allow us to introduce ourselves. We're Black Sunday. Where she was a vampire. And so, you know, the whole scene just, you know, and that's part of it, okay? But to do a mime present, and to do a mime platform, it's all based on looks and movement. Everything is a story. Every tiny little thing is a story. You look at the entire sequence of that scene. What are you seeing? Okay? Barb was told, you were shot. You're not dead. You're maybe weak, perhaps. You're unconscious. You have to come back awake. You have to sort of come back to life kind of thing. So, but we don't necessarily want this fast because, you know, I mean, this is how the director's going to present it. if it wasn't presented that badly in the script, or worse in the script. We know, get out of our face. So what does Barb do? She's playing with her head. She's playing with the sunlight on her face. She's enjoying the moment. She's waking up slowly. She's coming back slowly by moving and thinking and feeling. And isn't that nice and tranquil? And then her eyes open. And then the look. And the look where? And the who's around me? Oh, it's you, and the smile. And then you have Biggles, whose character loves this character, and he thought she was dead. And there she is coming back alive, and the elation in him is just fantastic. And more than that, because he's seeing everything, like for the first time. Like for the very first time, he suddenly understands every single thing. And he starts turning and looking, and he does a full spin to understand that yes, he's really seeing what he thinks he's seeing. And the supports are moving with the support. So it's a ballet of turns and looks captured simply within the camera lens. Of, did I really? Yes, it really. Do I really? Yes, you really. Spinning back and forth and around the room, every character turning a head, turn, a glance, eyes, a body shift. And then me going right on. And when I come off the pedestal, I come off the pedestal with a shift and a fall. Okay? Everything in mime has a purpose. When you take this into acting, you have to understand that every single thing you do is what is being caught on camera. You also have to remember that a large movement isn't necessary. A fast movement sometimes does the trick. Sometimes a slow movement is better. I am famous the world over for a head turn. Look at me, go, well, I don't remember, I don't understand. You said you were in Conan the Destroyer? Was there a knight whose back of the head you were looking at who went like that? Yeah, well, that was me. Okay? And you have to realize just how to use mime. And mime is more than just body movement and body position. You're telling a story with every single movement. And you're adding emotion and feeling to it too. Okay? If you're in a green box, oh my God, the things you could do. Think of the world. Play with it. You know, I mean, you could be sitting there as a dwarf walking through murk wood going, ew, a spider web. And you could make your entire body say it without actually saying it. Okay? This is how to take CG and say, I don't care what it is, because I care what it is. Because I'm going to create what it is, and now I'm going to really create what it is. It's taking it above and beyond the steps. Okay? Stop motion animation is no different than CG. The only real difference between stop motion and CG is the fact that CG is actually done quicker, supposedly. I'm not even sure, I haven't been in the industry long enough to be able to tell you. Because when I was doing an actor, we were in rubber suits and that was still stop motion. So I don't necessarily know if the whole CGI process is still just as slow as everything else, or if it's just as fast or whatever. But I can tell you that it's the same principle as an actor. Whether the screen is blue or the screen is green, it's still a screen. whether the screen is now a box instead of a 6-foot screen, and the box is actually what you're standing in a full room that's green, it's still green, it's still blue, it's still an imaginary world that they're going to create by some method. Because of that, you have to learn how to play in it. You have to work with the imagination of what is not there and what is there. One of the most interesting studies in mine I did was in a movie called Catacombs. I play the albino, who is chained to a wall and possessed. Is that anything but fun? And I'm not even actually in the voice, because the voice is done by my friend Keith Sutherland. So I'm moving. I'm saying my lines. Keither's voice will dub me over. And I'm acting. And that's how it goes. With mime, you have to bring every single thing into play. Okay? The more mime that you bring into CG, the more over the top the film. This is why, you know, some people sit there and go, well, you know, why don't they just replace actors with just computers? And because a computer can't think. You can. Because you can. Start. The first lesson to mime is you have a brain. Because you have a brain, you can think. Because you can think, you can move. You can decide what's happening. You can create imagination. Now do it. Wonderful little film, Forward Unto Dawn, Halo. You can sit there and watch the special feature section. You can see this one section where this director is saying, you know, he's got his actors and his actresses, and he's got this green box and these green things, and he's got parts of sets and whatnot. And he sits there saying, it's a monster! It roars! Run! Okay? You know, it's going to be big, it's going to be mean, it's going to be powerful, ha 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 ha. Okay, now you have to remember, back when I did this stuff, I was the monster, for God's sakes. Okay? So, you know, I know how to make people run. But I would look at that and say, interesting. Now, if we could get the director to shut up for a second and let me take care of his cast, and I could look at each one of them and say, tell me a story about your character. Do you have a brother? You do. Oh, and he died. Okay. All right. Think about him. It's the last moment of your life, for God's sakes. That thing's going to kill you. What are you going to think about? Your family? Something you love? Give me an emotion. Give me some thoughts and feelings. And then run scared. And how much over the top would that actor's performance suddenly shoot?